Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel. Today I'm here for that kind of long video where I show you the pens that I received on the previous month, and this is a long video where I just show the pens without any writing samples, just to let you know what I got. And so let's start the pens from March 2021 video. And the first pen, I'm showing them in groups by country of origin, and let's start with the first one. And the first is a Kaweco Sport. We have 6 Kaweco Sport pens, as usual. I always get lots of Kaweco. So this is a Kaweco collaboration with Nomos Glass Huta, and this is a pen that is a co-branding for this watchmaker brand. And so it is kind of a regular Kaweco, but with chrome trim. So we can call it a Kaweco Skyline Sport Burgundy. There are already 2 Kaweco Sports in Burgundy, and those have gold trim. So this is the Classic Sport Burgundy or Bordeaux, and also the Classic Sport Guilloche or Guilloche, or I don't know, also in Bordeaux. And you can see it has this Guilloche imprint in alternate facets and then a little bit on the barrel. So this is the first one. It was kindly sent to me by the Nomos Glass Huta brand, because I asked them if I could use their photos on my website, the cavecomadness.com, and they told me yes, I could use them, and they would send me some samples, and they did. The other one they sent me was this. This is also Nomos Glass Huta, the same kind of pen in chrome trim. So this is a Skyline Sport, you can tell that. Also with a steel, regular steel color nib. And it is a black pen. And there is already a black Skyline Sport and a black Classic Sport. They are the same, but this one has gold trim, so it is the Classic. We have also the chess, that has this chess engraving on alternate facets, and it is also Classic, so gold trim. The Classic, but with a Guilloche imprint, and this one is very visible. It's easier to see than in the Burgundy. And finally, just to show you also the Kaweco Sport by Diplomat, with also the same kind of imprint, so of engraving on the barrel. So just a few variations that I wanted to show you. And really this is what I do in this kind of videos. I usually show you the pens that I received and some pens that I can show for some comparison, just to check colors and variations and such. And the last one that I got from Nomos was this one, and this is the Caveco AL Sport Raw. And yes, there already is a Caveco AL Sport Raw. The difference is, this one doesn't say Caveco Sport AL Sport Germany, as that one says. This is raw aluminium, so this is brand new. This is a little bit used, and it gets lots of scuffs because that's how raw aluminium is. And they are the same pen with different engraving. This one has this engraving on one facet, and this has Nomos in one facet, and the other one it says Glass Huta. And then there is another difference, is that on the top of the pen, one has Caveco logo and the other has the Nomos logo. So the pens are different. Even if you look them by their side you can see this is not as conical as this one. So the same pen but with just a slight difference. And this is a fun thing to spot, to try to get all these tiny variations. However, they can be too many sometimes. So thank you, Nomos, for sending me all these 3 pens to be able to show you here and to include on the website. The next pen I want to show you is also a Kaweco, and also a Kaweco Sport, and also a co-branding. So Healthworks, it is a store, an online store, and this pen, the other ones that I showed have some kind of variation when compared to the original. This one keeps even the Kaweco Sport engraving, but it just adds the Healthworks logo, and it is the same color as the Kaweco Classic Sport Green. So they are both the same pens, they have the same Kaweco Sport engraving, but this one has the additional, where in the other one there is no other engraving, has the additional engraving that says Healthworks. So it is from the store. Once again, thank you to Healthworks for sending me this pen. The next one I will show is a very special one, very special Kaweco pen, because it is really unusual. This is the only one I saw, and the ones that this kind of pens, I only saw one of each. So these are some early production Kaweco Sport pens. This color is very uncommon. I think this is the called soap green color, that is kind of a grail color to find. I never saw in real life one, I don't have one, but this one I think it has the same basis. Then it has this imprint on alternate facets, and this is quite interesting. I have already one in my collection that has this imprint. I know there is a ballpoint pen online with the flag of the United States of America on the imprint. So if there is a ballpoint, because I know there is a ballpoint for this one available where I bought this one, and I know there is a ballpoint available this one because this came as a set. So what I believe is there is a fountain pen that matches that American flag. So it is something to look for. However, all these pens I never saw more than one at the same time. It has an older feed, an older type of nib with the size of the nib. The M is written in cursive, so it is a little different. Otherwise, it is interesting, and it doesn't have Kaweco Sport engraved anywhere. The next pen that I'm showing you is the last Caveco, and it's this one. This is the Caveco Art Sport Coral Red. It is a Caveco Art Sport from the 3rd generation. It has a very nice color. It is an interesting pen. It comes with a steel clip in silver color, but a steel nib in silver color. But I think I will eventually buy a black nib for this pen to match the black logo on the top of the cap. And this is an interesting pen. And I like this kind of color because this color really goes into the color of some well-known pens. And I want to show you that similarity with the Parker Duofold, Centennial Duofold Big Red, beautiful pen that I like a lot and that has the same kind of color. Also the Graf von Faber-Castell Intuition, which is a beautiful pen, the same kind of color family. The Kaweco Fox, Skyline Fox, this is a regular edition, much easier to find than the others. And finally, one pen that I was going to show you next, but it is the new 2021 Lamy Safari edition, the terracotta red, which is the same kind of family, but it has a different finish because it's more a matte finish. However, the color is similar, but they reflect light in different ways because the finish is not the same. So let's take these away and let's go to the next pen, that is this. And so we are still in Germany. This is the Lamy, as I told you, Safari Terracotta Red for 2021, and I think it is a match with also a Parker. It's a little bit lighter, but this is the Parker Senior Duofold. This is the vintage pen with the vintage big nib. A beautiful pen, in my opinion. It has some ink stains there. I need to try to clean it one day. And here you have it. Interesting pen. Also, just for comparison, I have here the ballpoint from the terracotta edition from 1980. So it is a kind of comparable color, but it is a little lighter as it seems. And so let's take those away, and we are keeping ourselves in Germany. For the last German pen of this set, we will go to the Lamy Safari 2021 edition, and this is the Savannah Green. For some color comparisons with Savannah Green, I have here 4 pens. One is this one. This is the Parker Centennial Duofold Olive Check that has some olive green parts, and this is a very beautiful finish. It's not a real match, but it goes into the same family of colors. I have here the Super5, it's written there, the Super5 Dublin pen, which has a quite similar color, a little darker. I also have an interesting Caveco Sport, and this is the Ranger, which is an older edition that doesn't have a Caveco nib. Let me just show it to you. It has a Schmidt nib, and it has another interesting characteristic. When you look at there is no Caveco Sport, but there is a star, the same star that is there on the Ranger. But this is kind of an olive green, darker than this Lamy. And also finally, I have here to show you a Parker 45 in olive green, and it is also a little bit darker. So this color is nice, but sometimes these colors seem, at least on camera, seem a little brighter because they have a matte surface that reflects the light in a different way. And now let's go for the Japanese pens, and I have 3 of them. So this was a month with 13 pens, and the pen that I'm showing you is this little beautiful thing. This is a Sailor pocket pen. I don't know the exact name of the model. It has a metal base, metal top with a very good clip, and it comes out like this. You post it, it becomes a full-size pen, and you have this kind of nib. It is a small nib. I think you can I'm not sure if you can read it. It is a very nice gold nibbed pen, and it really works well. I like it a lot, and I need to make the review of this pen. It has a gold nib, 14 karat gold nib. Such a nice pen. I like these kind of pocket pens, and this pen actually made some sense because it goes into a family of pens that are these Japanese pocket pens, and for the big three brands I have here also a platinum pocket pen which has a different nib, but the concept is the same. Very long cap and very long section, very short barrel, and then when the barrel is it's not very important comparing with the size of the cap, but then when you post it, it really becomes very long, and it is really quite long pen. So don't think this is a small pen when posted, and they are meant to be used posted. And I have here sorry, also Pilot Elite, which is also a pocket pen, different nib, also very nice. They are all cartridge pens or cartridge converters. If a converter fits, it depends on the pen. Exactly the same concept as you may see. They just have slight variations, but even on these cap bands you can see some similarities on the design. They are interesting, and now I have at least one of each. I have more than one platinum, I have more than one Pilot. This is my first and only Sailor pocket pen, at least so far. The next pen from Japan, it is a nice one. It is a Pilot, and it is this one. This is a Pilot Costume 67. It came before the Pilot Costume 74. It is the same pen. It has a number 5, the Pilot number 5 nib. It is made of gold, the nib. It's quite bouncy, and it is overall the same pen as the Costume 74. However, it has 2 cap bands instead of a large one, and it doesn't have a ring there, and the other one has. So it has a more vintage look to it. I think it is comparable in shape or in style to this very inexpensive Pilot 78G, which has a small nib, and it is a very simple pen. Also a cartridge pen. All the pens that I showed you so far are cartridge pens, and I actually find that this Pilot is similar to the Sailor 1911 large. However, 1911 large is a little bit thicker, but the length is the same. And let's take a look at the nibs. We have these nibs, and the nib on the Pilot is a little smaller. Not much, but a little smaller. So this is it, a very nice, simple, classic black pen. And the last Japanese pen is also a cartridge pen, and this is a very nice piece that I got. This is the Tombow Zoom 828 FP for fountain pen. It is also from Japan, a plastic pen, black one, with kind of a stiff clip. It has some corrosion there. It's not that easy to find, even on eBay. It uncaps just by pulling the cap, and you have one of the funniest nibs I ever saw, which is this one. Very small, short and large. The pen is quite large. It reminds us of the jumbo pens that usually came from Japan, but jumbo pens used to be very, very large. This one is very short, which is an interesting thing. It takes a international short cartridge that looks very small inside the pen. And there it is. It is very small, very interesting. Let me bring here the Sailor Pocket pen, and you see it is a short pen, but very fat one. And also a Kaweco Sport, and look, it's just short and very fat, but it is, I think it's very fun. It looks like a cartoon. When you compare this pen with this one, the William Shakur Titan Yellow, which is this very interesting pen with a very big titanium nib, you will find that the girth of both pens is the same. So this is crazy. They have the same girth, but they have very different sizes. So this is big, but it keeps the proportions as if it was smaller. It is just larger in every sense. This one is just larger in the fatness, but not in the length, and even the clip seems to have been, even the nib seems to have been squeezed vertically. And that is even more visible. I think this pen has the same kind of style of, for example, a Mambla 149. And when Mambla 149 is a big pen, and you see, it doesn't look that large here. Same overall shape, black. This has less rings. And when you look at the nibs, and this really is the crazy part of it. Look at it. If you put one above the other, I cannot show it here on camera, it's very hard, but when you look at both pens, I can assure you that the Montblanc is much longer, and that is visible, but the Tombow is wider at the shoulders than the Montblanc is, and this is kind of crazy. This nib has very strange proportions. It's a very interesting pen, and if you want to have some people looking at you when you're writing with it, it will be fun. I need to spend some time talking about this one because this pen is really different from everything else. It can be used posted, and you have to press it quite hard to post, or maybe if you feel comfortable, it's not uncomfortable to me, you can put the back of the barrel there and write like this. It's not uncomfortable, it's strange, but this is a very funny pen. I like it a lot. And by the way, I found a nice case, this Kaweco made of jeans pouch. It goes there very well. It is. So if you think this is a 2 Kaweco pen pouch, it takes this takes the room for 2 Kaweco. So it's crazy. And now the final 2 pens are from Italy, and from Italy the nice pens that I got are 2 Leonardo pens. This is the new Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande Pura, and the color is Grigio Anthracite, which means anthracite gray. And it is for sure comparable with the other Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande, but this is the 2021 edition. It's not a special edition, this is a regular one, but it has some key differences, but I will talk about them when I make the reviews and some comparison videos, because I think this is important. They have several small differences, and you can see the overall design is the same. However, this one has the clip a little, let's put the caps side by side like this, it's better. When the caps are side by side, you can see that the clip of this one is inserted higher than on the Momento Zero Grande Sand. The caps are aligned by the top, and you can see that this clip is inserted higher. Also, the cap rings are not exactly at the same place, so I think that the cap of this one is a little bit bigger. And also, another big difference, this one has a black nib, which is great. Another big difference is that this one has a Jowo nib and that one has a Bock nib. I usually go a lot for Bock nibs because I think they really are my favorite, but this Jowo nib is very, very good. I'm quite happy with it. One thing that these pens have that is nice is you can see the ink inside. Some people complain about, for the people for whom this may be a problem, these pens don't have an ink window and the material is not translucent, so you cannot see. These ones have no ink window, but because they are translucent, although frosted, you can see the shadow of the nib there, and if you take it out, you can see it is translucent. You can see my finger on the other side. So you can know your ink level because you can see through the pen. A pen that I want to show you is this one, and this is a dark demonstrator pen. This is the Pelikan M200 Anthracite Transparent. It is full of ink, so it's not that easy to see. But let's take a look at the cap. It's not clear plastic, it is like a grey plastic, but it's different because this one is fully transparent and this is frosted. This is like any other pen and I like it a lot. If I have to describe the feel of the pen, I would say it feels the same kind of texture that you feel if you pass your fingers over frosted glass, but it feels warmer than glass. So if you ask me, it looks like a mixture of frosted glass and the Visconti Homo Sapiens lava resin. And now, this pen, this was a pen that I bought myself from Boom, and the final pen that I have to show you is a pen that I didn't buy. It came from Leonardo. They sent me this one for review. It is a beautiful pen, and this is the Leonardo Italiana Momento Zero Grande Pura Arancio Fiammante, which means flaming orange. It is a beautiful pen. It has also a black nib. They asked me which nib would I like, and I said, okay, let's go for fine. And that one is a fine also, but I think I like fine nibs, so I could try different stuff, but sometimes when you know what you like, why would you try? Another thing, this has several entries for the cap, so not always the engraving of the pen with the serial number aligns with the clip. But when it does, not this entry, it has 3 entries. Okay, in this one it aligns with the clip, you see, and when it aligns with the clip, the nib, let me rotate it, I think you can see, also the nib aligns with the clip. So this is that kind of very small details that make, for me, a lot of difference. I have another kind of frosted pen, but it is different. It is translucent, but it's not frosted. Although it's called Frosted Sport, Kaweco Frosted Sport. This is the soft Mandarin. It is supposed to be orange, but it's not anyway this kind of orange pen. Another pen that I wanted to show to you is this one. This is a Kaweco Sport for Microsoft, an older edition, very rare, and this is completely transparent, although it is colored, and it is a much brighter yellow, orange. It's not comparable at all. The pen that I would say is more comparable, though of a different color, is this one, and this is a Leonardo Italiana Messenger. And this one, interestingly, it already has a Yovo nib, and so you can see all that scroll work, but this one doesn't have the scroll work, and I find it much nicer. This pen is very beautiful, very nice and simple. It is a cartridge pen. These two are piston fillers, but I think that the color is the most similar one, although this is more yellow and this is not frosted. This has these swirls in yellow and white, and it is fully transparent. There you can see the converter inside. This one is not fully transparent anywhere. It's just a beautiful pen. I like this pen a lot. I really like it. About the Messenger, there is something that is nice and not nice at the same time, and it reminds me of... It's kind of ironic. If you look at the pen, this one was a limited edition. Oops, I touched the camera. And if you look there, it is number 6 of 366. And why is it 366? Because the year has 365 days, but 2020, which was the year for this pen, it had 366. And the fun thing is that they made this special edition for 2020 without knowing that 2020 would be one of the strangest years ever, and it even had an extra day to make it even worse. And so we have the ones who have a Messenger, a Leonardo Messenger in their collection, will have a reminder of this strange and, for many people, a very bad year of 2020. So let me just line up these pens for you to check them before I end the video, and I will name them all a last time. And so, what do we have here? We have the Leonardo Italiana Momento Zero Grande Pura, very long name, Pura Arancio Fiammante. Leonardo Italiana Momento Zero Grande. This is not for this month, sorry. Leonardo Italiana Momento Zero Grande Grigio Anthracite. Pura Grigio Anthracite. This is the Tombow 828 FP, Pilot Costume 67, Sailor Pocket Pen, Lamy Original Savannah Green. I didn't show, but it has the black nib. Lamy Safari Original Terracotta Red, Caveco Art Sport Coral Red, an older Caveco Sport, which name I don't know, the Caveco Sport, Classic Sport Green from Healthworks, Caveco AL Sport for Nomos, the Caveco Skyline Sport Black for Nomos, and the Caveco Skyline Sport Burgundy for Nomos also. So the 13 pens that I received during March, it was kind of a very nice month, and I think all these pens are nice. These mostly because they fit very well in my collection. These because I've been planning to do some videos on pens with this color. I think it makes kind of sense to organize them with this color. This, because it is a very, very nice color. I like this one really for myself. This is a pocket pen and I love sailors, so it would make sense. This was because I was curious. I never heard of a Pilot Costume 67 before. This one, I had to have it. Who wouldn't? And these two, they are beautiful, beautiful pens, and there is even another color, a blue one, which is wonderful. So this is all. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you soon. Bye.